Hey everybody, I'm Jesse and welcome to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today we have a user-inspired edition. I'd like to thank Mike Fleisner. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name, Mike, but he suggested that we explore the possibility that there are good people out there. If you're a subscriber of mine or a regular viewer, you know that I am critical of billionaires and rich people who basically do nothing to improve the lives of other people on the planet, the elite class, whatever you want to call it. And I am hopeful that Elon Musk isn't one of those. I'm hoping that he actually puts his money where his mouth is, and that he does believe in freedom, and he does believe in America, my America, your America, not the corporate billionaire elite America. And I've been accused of being jealous of the rich. I don't give a shit. If I wanted to be that rich, I could have devoted my life to being that rich. I really don't care about money. It's not real. If you knew how I felt about money, it's not even real. It's just fake digital shit that we pass around. Yes, the value that we give money is, I don't know. It has its uses because we can use it to trade and stuff, but we could just as easily scrap money altogether and just barter goods with each other. And I've done it as a handyman. I've done it quite a bit. There was one job I had with this old man, and he said, he asked me, he had this cool ladder in his garage. He said, I don't use it anymore. If you know somebody who wants to buy it, let me know. And he wanted me to go up and do some work on his roof. I said, well, hell, I'll do this work on your roof, and you give me the ladder, and we'll be even. He said, you sure? Because he valued the work on the roof more than the ladder, and I valued the ladder more than the work, the hour or two that I would spend on the roof. So we both came out very happy. Okay? And we both got a great deal. And you don't do that with monetary transactions. You're getting screwed every time you buy something because the value is gone. You know what I'm saying? The value, you drive a car off the lot and its value is halved just because you put 1/10 of a mile on it. As soon as you turn the key and sign the thing, you lost a shit ton of money. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I don't envy people for being rich, but what I'm critical of is their actions. They have the ability to do things to make society better, and they just choose not to. All right? And if you think about it, and it's even worse than you think when you're in this multi-billionaire stage, because all you have to do is get your guy to go hire someone to do it. You just tell your guy, hey, I want to hire someone to do XYZ. Go find me somebody. And 3 days later, you get a text or whatever from him, and he says, hey, I found somebody. Looks good. And you say, okay, go ahead, hire him, get it done. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you've got to devote all this time of your personal time to this shit. You're just having your people do it. Literally. And I say that about how far removed they are from us down here when we equate getting something done, we think of spending our personal time doing something because that's what we do. So we project that onto them. That's not how they do it at all. Their people do it. When you get up to a certain level of monetary success, money doesn't mean anything anymore. Elon Musk doesn't have to pay for meals anymore. That they'll just give him $500 steak dinner just to have him seen in their restaurant. Ford or Chevy would just give him a fleet of cars just so he would be seen driving a Ford or a Chevy. You know what I'm saying? This kind of thing. They just give clothes to him. Anybody that they don't have to buy things anymore. They just have their person go get them, go get whatever they want. That money means nothing. So it's that kind of thing that I'm critical of. Right? Why don't they use, literally 5 minutes of their time to tell their guy to make the world a better place? But now I have located some people who have gotten a level of success where I would call rich, who have done that. And one of them is a guy named Jason Brown. Now, Jason Brown was an NFL football player, and he played in the NFL till the age of 29. All right. He's from North Carolina. And he played in the NFL for a few years. I guess he didn't piss all his money away on hookers and coke, so he had money, and at the age of 29, he retired. He bought 1,000 acres, okay, and started growing crops on this land. And he donates those crops to food pantries to feed the poor, the homeless. Now that's what he's doing with his life now. Now I'm not saying everybody should become farmers but here's one guy out of all of these multimillionaire NFL rock stars who is 100% giving back to the community. All right, this guy came from nothing probably, and he's living a good life on a 1,000-acre farm. I'm sure he gets his hands dirty, but he doesn't have to. He probably set up a foundation and gets donations and stuff to keep the thing running. I doubt that he's just 100% funding the thing himself. He put a few million into it to get it started, I'm sure. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And if more of these multimillionaires would do something like this, then the world would be a better place. Okay, we're sending billions upon billions of dollars overseas. This guy did that with, I don't know, in the tens of millions, I would think, that he made in the NFL. I don't think he's up in the hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I mean? His net worth. He's probably in the tens, 30 million maybe he's worth, something like that. Ballpark, I don't know. But that is just a tiny drop in the bucket of all the hundreds of billions of dollars we sent to these foreign countries in the last 4 years. I'm not talking about over the whole history of the United States, the last 4 years. Now imagine if they had just taken that money instead and invested it in stuff like this. Our country, our government, the government of the United States took that money and just injected it into this kind of stuff. Created jobs for people, fed people who need food, maybe even build some housing for people who need housing, build some shelters. The amount of good that could have been done in this country with that money that they have poured overseas, and it's done no good over there. They're not building shelters and building farms and feeding the poor with that money over there. That needs to be clearly understood. They're killing people with that money and laundering it back and just enriching the politicians of both sides. That's all. They're not saving lives and ending hunger with this money. All right. So if there were just more people who attain that level of success, more people like Jason Brown in this world would be a better place. And the next one is a hotel magnate. named Harris Rosen. So I'm just assuming that this guy is in the the hundreds of millions area, his net worth. He basically adopted an entire town named Tangelo, Florida, and this is here in my home state of Florida. He adopted a town and basically just cleaned it up, put systems in place to make everything more efficient and better. Now all of the education runs on completely volunteer, right? It's just volunteers come in and teach the kids and stuff, and the high school graduation rate is right at 100%, 99% or something like that. You got one goofball kid who's going to drop out or whatever. Drug addiction and that kind of stuff is virtually gone. Crime virtually gone. Every graduating kid, every kid who graduates high school has already got a full paid scholarship to a trade school or a college or something like that in Florida, completely paid. And he too has set up foundations and stuff, you know what I mean? And he's completely changed this town. And he's going to do it again in another small town outside of Orlando, he says in the article I read. And he says that he is trying to inspire other millionaires to do the same thing, or billionaires or whatever, the rich. He's trying to inspire other rich people to do the same thing. So now this guy too, he came from nothing. He was just a broke ass kid in New York, and he came down to Florida, and he saved up $1,100 or something and made a down payment on a shitty little motel and put his own work in, fixed it up, and then and he acted as the dishwasher and the buffet server and the handyman and the janitor, all of those. He did all that stuff himself at first. Now he's got like a chain of them down here or whatever. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Now, I think this guy has taken a more hands-on approach with this first town, Tangelo. I think he actually came down there and, walked around and made decisions and did things himself. But he could have very well have just hired someone to do it, like I was saying. Now, this guy worth, let's say, $100 million, and he put $5 million or whatever into this town, creating these nonprofit organizations or whatever to handle all these different things. And so my point is that people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, each of them could do 100 or 200 of these without even touching their money. They wouldn't even notice it. And they could do it just by talking to one person for 5 minutes. Have their whatever, hire 100 people and go do it. This is what I want done. Look at this guy. Here's his webpage. This is what he's done. I want this done in 100 towns. You know what I'm saying? It's that easy. But they don't do it. But there are good people like this who are doing it and who are trying to inspire others to do the same. Others at their same economic class. And both of these people in my examples here, both of my examples, they came from nothing. They grew up poor. They grew up middle class or whatever. They weren't born rich. They had to work hard for it. They know what it's like to struggle. They know what it's like to do without, and they sympathize with those who are going through that. But if we had more people like that, more people who would do something to create a better world. And that's important, because what kind of human being are we if we don't make the world a better place to whatever small degree we can? And that's, I believe that's from even even homeless people living on the streets, whatever they are able to do. Help the next homeless person beside them get a little more comfortable. And all the way up to Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. So that's just statistics. The actual richest people in the world he's not even on their radar, and he can't even compete with them. So, but that's neither here nor there. But I think we all should at least think about it. Gen X thinks. We should all think about, and not constantly, not bend over backwards, not try to be Mother Teresa every single day, but is there something we can do, some small thing that we can do to make this world a better place? And if you're Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, some small thing is talking to an assistant and adopting 100 towns. You know what I mean? That's a small thing to them. A small thing to me is helping some old lady, some old couple over here with a stopped up toilet, and they really can't afford, to pay me, so I don't charge them. I know they're hurting, so I don't charge them. Things like that. And I'm not trying to blow my own horn. I don't do that shit every day because I can't afford to. But I'm just giving you an example of smaller things that smaller people can do with less. But there's still things we can do. And I'm not trying to make anybody feel guilty or trying to prod anybody into doing anything. I'm just inviting you to think about these things with me. That's it. And I'll leave you there with that. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you want to support the channel by becoming a member, I'll put that link down in the description, or you can head over to the channel page and become a member that way. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can do so by clicking on that super thanks button down there. Or you can head over to Buy Me a Cup of Coffee and buy me a cup of coffee. I'll put that link down in the description too. If you're interested in Gen X gear, you can head over to Redbubble and check out what we have over there. Pretty cool Gen X things and Gen X branded stuff. T-shirts, coffee mugs, all kind of cool stuff. But I'll put that link down in the description as well. If you can't or don't want to support the channel in any of those ways, you can always do so by sharing these videos on your social media. Thank you very much for those of you who do that. I sincerely appreciate it. If you have any ideas for future episodes of Gen X Thinks, please put those down in the comments, or you can email us in the emails over on the channel page. And as always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.